What factors are affecting property prices in Singapore in 2023? Hi, my name's Fraser and I'm your property consultant and advisor. Drop a like and subscribe so you can get notified whenever I put up new content. We're currently experiencing an all-time high in property prices in Singapore. The Singapore government has thrown cooling measures at the property market more than once in just a short period of time, but yet property prices are still increasing. So what is happening? What is affecting the property prices in Singapore in 2023? Demand hasn't been affected with the tightening of cooling measures in the property market. The fact is, having only just recovered from the pandemic, it still takes time for momentum to build up again. And construction is only just beginning to catch up with the demand. And if you've watched my previous video, then we already understand that during periods of undersupply, prices will climb. Now, Singapore's property market works in cycles. When there's an undersupply of new launch properties available, prices increase. And naturally, people will begin turning their attention to resale properties. So with demand shifted to resale properties, then resale prices will also increase, catching up to new launch property prices. Eventually, sooner or later, the government opens up land sales for more housing developments via the Government Land Sales Program. And there will also be older developments going through en bloc to be redeveloped into new housing estates. Eventually, the pipeline supply of new properties catches up to a point where hopefully we reach another oversupply, so that prices can once again be competitive and draw demand back from the resale property market, but only while stocks last. Are you seeing the cycle yet? Every cycle lasts roughly around 4 years or so, and at the end of every cycle, we find ourselves at a new benchmark of prices. Why? It's the increasing cost of construction and materials, the increasing cost of manpower, and of course the increasing cost of land, which is controlled by who? The Singapore government. So where in the cycle are we currently at? For this year of 2023, we have 43 new launch developments in the pipeline. Sounds like a lot, right? But a lot of these have already sold out, because on average, we see new launches selling out around 30 to 40% during their initial launch. And on top of that, our annual demand is usually between 10 and 12,000 units per year. That's a pretty big chunk out of the new launch supply pipeline. With that in mind, let me ask you, are we in an undersupply or an oversupply? If you said undersupply, then we can foresee that new launch property prices will be increasing already and demand will shift to the resale market, eventually pushing up resale prices. And before we know it, we'll see yet another new benchmark of prices. If you said oversupply, then we understand that new launch property prices are currently at their most competitive, which marks the perfect time to enter into the property market and capitalize on that future undersupply when resale properties are at their highest demand. So what did you answer? Let me know in the comments. And do you think it's the right time in the cycle to enter the property market? We're now entering a new benchmark of prices in the 2023 supply pipeline. Just last year, we saw the old pricing of new launch developments, of which the majority have already sold out. For example, just outside the city, we see prices between $1,400 and $1,600 per square foot. City fringe properties between $1,700 and $1,900 per square foot. And in core central region, $2,500 to $2,900 per square foot. Not surprising that majority of these developments had already sold out, as we were still dealing with pent-up demand from that recent supply crunch. Newer developments have already started launching at the new benchmark prices for their respective regions. Outside of the city, we see $1,900 to $2,200 per square foot. At the city fringe, $2,300 to $2,700 per square foot. And in the core central region, upwards of $3,500 per square foot. But there are still a few remaining opportunities to enter into the property market at old pricing with last year's unsold inventory, but only if you can act fast. Now, if you're thinking to yourself, damn, I better buy into these prices before they're all sold out. Hold up there. Proceed with caution, because not all these developments might be a suitable investment. It depends whether or not that particular development has gone through any major price increases. If you buy into the development at its highest price, then you could severely affect your future capital gains, especially against those who bought during launch and have first movers advantage. Your best bet to avoid making any decision that you'll regret later on is by having a property consultant on your side to show you which of these developments is the right opportunity for investment. Their experience, insights, and daily exposure to market changes will be invaluable to helping you make the right choice. So if you liked what I covered in this video, feel free to check out some of my other videos. Maybe you'll find something else useful. And if you want to get in touch with me, or you want to learn more about what to look out for in your property journey, feel free to connect with me via any of the social media links in the description. So until next time, ciao for now.